Hello and welcome back to the New Horizons Festival. Today we have an opportunity of talking to Ernesto Martínez Bucio, the director of El Diablo fuma y guarda las cabezas de los carrillos quemados en la misma calle.
That's right.
Hello.
Hello.
So first of all, why such a long title?
The long title is part of a poem of Karen Plata, the co-writer of the film. She is a poet, and our process is not straight. We are all the time we are writing some stuff here, some stuff over there, and she writes in like poems. So I wrote this line, and for me was like, oh, this could be the title of the film. Are you sure it's really long, right? But no, when we took this title, the devil started to coming into the film, into the story, into the movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the devil is like you feel his presence in the film, which makes it a mixture of both a drama and some elements of horror, I would say. Is it something that you were aiming for? Or?
No, we don't think that it's a horror movie. It's more like a comedy. Comedy and drama movie, a dramedy. yeah. But no, we weren't looking for a horror elements. Yeah.
Okay, so that's something that just appeared, something that fits the story, because all those. Especially in the technicals, you have a lot of these really closed locations, those shaky camera movements, stuff like that. It really builds the tension that you are really good with the tension, because you don't let it linger for too long. You break it up with the humor, as you mentioned already. So it's a great mixture of those. If you didn't try to achieve it, then congratulations even more, because that's something that many people try to achieve and fail.
Yeah, well, I'm always shooting with handheld camera because I think camera has to be something that is alive and they can react to the actions of the characters. And in this film, we had 5 children, so I wanted to the camera to be following the children all the time and not to be so static.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also working with children is something that many directors struggle with. We hear all the stories of how directing one child actor can be difficult, and you did 5 all at once. So how was that process looking like? Was it something difficult? Was it something you had to really prepare for in advance, or?
Yeah, of course. We had 2 months of casting with my casting director, Michel Betancourt, and I was part of that process. The whole time was in the castings and looking different children. And after that, we had like 2 months of rehearsals, preparing and building relationships between the kids, because relationships cannot be performed. You have to build the relationships. And when we were out for the shooting, we prepared the set to be free of cables and lights, and everything was outside of the location of the set. So the kids were free to move in the set, but they a lot of parts of the film looks like it's an improvisation or something like that, and they are following the script line by line. In another parts of the film, there is improvisation, but it's a very delimited improvisation, like in the interviews with the social services or something like that. So we use different techniques for different scenes.
And was it after the rehearsals and the time they had to feel like they are siblings, was it still more difficult than usual guiding of actors that are maybe trained properly, or was it something that came naturally when you were shooting?
Yeah, it's a different process because with children you have to approach differently. An actor can do their job by themselves, but the children has to be with the acting coach all the time, and we had 2 acting coaches beside me directing the kids. But yeah, it's not so difficult. It's a lot of work, and you have to put a lot of energy. But yeah, it's great to work with kids.
Yeah, I can imagine. And your film is also very deeply entranced with the religion, with like the culture of your country. So how were those elements added to the story? How did you approach talking about the religious aspects of your culture in a way that blended naturally?
I think it's the context, because in the 90s, John Paul II was visiting Mexico. I think he was in 1991, and in 1993 he visited Mexico but he didn't land in Mexico City. He landed in Mérida, Yucatan. So we built like from the memories from our own memories of the 90s in Mexico City, but not in an. The film is not happening in a specific year, but in this.
It's like between the time, right?
Yeah, in the
you
common
really
memory of like the 90s, the middle of the 90s. You cannot tell the year exactly, but it's in the mind of the Mexicans, the memories of the Mexicans.
Yes, because the Jean Paul II was also like very. You can tell in the film that he is very important character. I would say character.
Yeah.
And how did you decide on influencing the story with that context?
Because I grew up in a Catholic environment. I was in a Catholic school when I was a child. So I was listening all the time that, and in Mexico there was a lot of this fever for Jean Paul II in that years. After that, I'm not a believer anymore, but in my culture it was really important in that years, and he was like an icon, like a superhero that was coming to Mexico and is gonna fix everything because he is like the closest person to God, right? But nothing of that happened. So that's why these kids start like, well, if it's not working with Jean Paul II, maybe with the devil, and so we were trying to find new meanings of the icons and to play with that in the film.
Yeah, because as you can probably imagine, Jean Paul II is also a hero here in Poland as well. So I think we kinda share the experience of his admiration of how much he is publicly portrayed as this great man.
Yeah, in that years, because now,
now we know more.
We know a few things, like he was protecting some people that wasn't like really great with children, right? Yeah. So it's kind of funny how idols and icons change with the years.
Over time, yeah. Yeah, and was that the context you just said? Was that something that you also took into consideration while putting it in the film about children?
No, not immediately. It was like natural because it was happening in that year. So we, when we were writing the film, we immediately was thinking in the 90s, and because we grew up in the 90s, and so we were like remembering like, do you remember this advertising for the social campaign against cholera and against and I remember that, and John Paul II was visiting Mexico, and and Karen was like and the girl wants to be ballerina as well as she wants to be a pope, and we connected. Like I told you, like we don't write in a straight way. We write the story like here and that, and in a zigzag, and
after that you just connect all the dots.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really fascinating process of telling a story, to be honest. Like it's not something I think many writers try to achieve.
Well, I think a story, a film is written 3 times in the paper, in the script, then in the set when you are shooting, and after that in the editing room. And we rewrite the film in the editing room because this was not the ending in the script. So we find it. We wrote a script that was an episodic film, so we could change some scenes from here to there, and but we find it in the editing room.
Okay, so last question. You are here at the New Horizons Festival. You are doing Q&As after your screenings. How do you feel Polish audiences are resonating with your...
Polish what?
Polish audiences, like Polish people.
Really, really great. The theaters are full, sold out all the time. It's great. Yeah. I just want to add something about films. I think small stories matter. And small stories like this, and small stories like another films in this film festival matters a lot because it reflects the biggest reality in the world. For example, my film is about 5 children who are afraid of a neighborhood who is coming into their house, into their place, and
and they are forced to be act much older than they should, in a sense, right?
Yeah. But this fear against the neighbor that is maybe surrounding and trying to get into their house is happening in the world, and is happening in a biggest scale, and in a war that is happening down there. And so that's why my film is not a political film. It's a personal and intimate film, but it reflects our biggest reality that is happening right now, and that's why I think this small stories has to be told.
Yeah, and that's something I think these kinds of festivals, these kinds of events really give a chance to do, right? Because all these small stories are being told all the time, but it's kind of difficult to really get them through to people. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, so thank you so much for this interview.
No, thank you.
And please enjoy the rest of the festival. I hope that you find some time to also experience all the other stories that are here to be found. And thank you all for watching, and see you in the next interviews.